Welcome back to Season Sessions, where we talk through all the black news of the week, and you're joined with your host Ada
and your host Hanifa.
You should probably
not close enough to the mic.
Oh my god! Oh, it's the arm. You don't have to pull the whole table. Look. Just like tilt it to your face. You know this.
Oh, okay.
You would see. You'd think this was the first time
I left the house. This is the first time I've been in public.
I think this is or the first time somebody hasn't adjusted it for you. This is the thing, it pulls forward.
Yeah, I didn't know.
No, you have to, there you go.
Hello.
Right, here we are.
On?
This is how we've started our first YouTube one
Hey.
with mistakes. So we're on YouTube now. If you are a listener of, I don't know.
Of the podcast.
Tenure.
No.
Yeah.
Seasoned. If you're a seasoned listener, you may not even know what we look like. Head over to YouTube, or if you're already here, welcome.
Yeah. I think our things are, I think the drawing is pretty accurate.
It is fairly accurate. I don't know. I used to listen to the radio when I was younger, and I had no idea. Like, you know, when you're like a kid, you're
Scott
after
Mills.
School. Yeah, Scott Mills after school. And I had no idea what. There used to be a woman, and I had no idea what she looked like. And then
Joe Cox.
No, not Joe Cox. It was like a woman on Scott's show.
Okay.
And then I saw her once, and it was never the same again. So don't, if you're like,
I hope it's not a letdown, because every radio host I've seen, it never lived up to what I imagined.
Yeah.
It was always like, oh, no, actually, no. I don't know what I imagined, but I always assumed that radio hosts were young people.
Oh yeah, they're not.
But then you see them in real life, and you're like, oh, you're like 50.
Yeah.
And then when I listen again, it's like, well, then why are you talking like this?
Oh, well, you're young at heart.
It's just like some of the jokes they do. I'm like, but
nah, I think silliness
old.
Has no age limit.
I guess that's true.
I plan to be silly till I'm 100.
I get, but like I won't be having. Would you be having the conversations that like, oh, I don't know. Radio discussions in the morning are honestly sometimes quite weird. It's like you have like marmalade discussions, or what's your favorite brand of marmalade?
No, they're going good these days.
You used to listen. Oh,
I listen to the radio. I listen to the radio in the morning.
Which one do you listen to?
Radio 1. What's his name? Greg James.
Greg Sulkin.
No, who's that?
I don't know.
I just said Greg James.
I don't know what. But I think Greg Sulkin is from Wizards of Waverly Place.
Right. So that's where you're at. I actually didn't introduce myself.
Oh, did you?
No.
Did I introduce myself?
You introduced yourself and then I tipped the table over.
Oh, okay. Go on then.
You're listening to Hanifa. One half of Season Sessions, the podcast.
That's a full introduction.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're new here,
but they know you're obviously one half because it's two of us.
Okay.
Why are you saying that's not what you do if you're on somebody else's show? How can you on your own show saying I'm part of Season Sessions? You're here.
Yeah, as you can see and hear, I'm here.
Okay.
All right. How
then.
are you this week?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Bank holiday always makes me really tired. I had a 4-day, so I'm just like my brain's not here. You know when you feel like you're moving at like half speed? Always. But you're probably not moving at half speed, but like I just feel like, yeah.
Like you know in Monsters Inc., that woman.
Which one? The slug one?
Yeah.
That's
sometimes often I feel like her.
Yeah, big energy.
Roz, I think her name is.
Yeah. I feel like her.
Cool.
But yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm like the opposite of you. I'm feeling like well chipper. I think weekend should be 3 days.
No, it should be.
Yeah, like always, because I think you need a day to unwind.
Yeah.
A day to like get your shit together.
You're gonna spill that iced
I'm
coffee.
not.
I suggest you put it on a flat surface. Just put it somewhere. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Very good.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. So day one of weekend, 3-day weekend. You need a day to unwind, day to run errands, and then a day for socializing. Like you can't do all that in 2 days.
I feel like you can, but I feel like 2 days doesn't work because it takes a while for your brain to even switch off from work, depending on like if your people have been a dick and have put up meetings at like 5 p.m. or somebody's been stupid and put a deadline on a Friday. And honestly, everyone that does that, I hate you. And anybody that's ever done that, I honestly hate you so much because I'm trying to do the end of my day. But if you have a deadline on a Friday or somebody's put a last minute, oh, let's have a last catch up at 4 p.m. I'm like, no, that's evil behavior. And then it takes like a little bit for your body to switch off from work mode, especially because like on a Saturday, why am I up at 7:30? I don't have work today. So then you're like, your body's not adjusted. And then you might get like, by the time your body adjusts, it's like Saturday afternoon, I feel. And then you only really get 24 hours because then in Sunday afternoon, you start being like, oh, I need to start this fucking project tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I have this email to send. Or if you're like me and you're stupid, by the time, if I think of something, I have to do it right then because I'm not going to remember it again. Yeah. So then I'm like, I now need to send this email and I'm not rested. So it should be 3 days because it's really one day.
Don't swear at me.
I don't know why I started 3 like this. Because I was trying to do.
I like that.
I can't. Oh my God, honey. Wait, do this and then put down your middle finger. My finger's twitching.
Yeah, maybe go get that checked out.
Right.
Anyway.
It's really one day.
It is.
It's really 24 hours.
Yeah, the weekend is one day. We need to up it to 3.
I think we do.
Because it's what the people want. You can also, I always work hard. But when it's a 4-day week, you work hard. You work because you know the reward is waiting for you.
Not even that. It's just like, I think people need to realize that adults can manage themselves. Time management isn't, okay, removing you. The time management is something that if you told me I had 3 days to do something, I would still, and then the next time I had 2 days, I'd still probably do it in the 2 days.
Yeah, like it's going to get done. You
just like, you factor your time in. Maybe I won't take an afternoon nap that time. I'll just plow through.
Right? But like, you know the future naps will come.
Exactly.
3-day weekend.
So I think just trust. Also, I guess it depends on what work environment you're working in.
No, because everything. I've really thought about this because even like entertainment industry, service industries, right? They could employ more people if everybody got a 3-day weekend, so it would create more jobs.
However, these people are paid by the hour. So you want to work more anyway. That's the thing. It only works.
Yeah.
It only works if you're on a permanent contract and you're in like a fixed whatever. If you're working by the hour, whether it's 4-day, 3-day, you're gonna work weekend doesn't work in the service industry because everybody goes to shit on the weekend.
If this is in this scenario.
Okay.
We banish that 0-hour contract shit.
Yeah.
And everyone's getting paid fairly. And then everyone gets a 3-day weekend.
But would they get? But no,
I'm not an economist. Yeah,
no.
I like the idea of a 3-day weekend.
It doesn't make any sense because in the entertainment sector or even in like hospitality, there isn't a 3-day weekend because on the weekend that is when I am going to use.
No,
those
but I'm
bits.
saying like say like you work. It doesn't have to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You can have your weekend on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 3-day weekend. Still, it's in the middle of the week as we know it.
But then they should be paid annually.
Yeah, everyone should just be paid well. It started off strong. I lost it at the detail.
I think if you work in an office and you're on like a perm contract, I guess that's the thing. So, because then I would feel guilty if I was doing a 3-day weekend. Actually, no, because then people in hospitality would get paid more because sometimes you get paid more on the weekends. If the 3-day weekend is in, sometimes you get paid more on the weekend.
No, you don't. Not since like the 1960s. That's like
short time I worked in the bar.
You get paid like Boxing Day.
The short time I worked in the bar, I got paid extra if I worked on the might
have been. That might have been some like under the table situation.
Oh, because I thought you got paid extra on the weekends.
I don't know. Maybe things have changed. Anyway,
in the past 10. Oh, how old am I? How old am I?
I don't know. It's like bank holiday. You get extra. Anyway, it's neither here nor there.
I got time and a half. Worked on the weekend.
The working week needs to be restructured, basically,
for sure.
Anyway, who's your shout out?
My season shout out.
Oh wait, should we explain who? If you're new here,
yeah, season shout outs is basically we just shout out a black person or a black business that we feel deserves to be shouted out.
Anything that in that realm of being
because
it could be like a TV show or a song. It could be the possibilities are endless.
I don't know how I didn't just cover that by what I just said.
Okay, who's your shout out?
A TV show or a song, they're made by people.
Yeah,
my shout out is, I have two shout outs actually. One is Lil Yachty because he's coming out with a nail polish line.
Right.
Because, you know, he's one of the lads that likes to wear nail polish. And it looks really good. It looks really matte and it's black and it's called I can't pronounce it. I think it's called Kretz.
Right.
Or Crete. It's Crete. I'm not the Cret or Crete.
Right.
Crete.
French, yeah.
I can only see the Instagram handle, so I don't know.
Is there meant to be an accent on it or something?
I don't know because it's the Instagram handle.
Crete, like the country. Creteco.
Oh my god, I forgot that was a country. It's Crete. Yeah, so shout out for him, and then also shout out to Nella Rose for just being Nella Rose and getting that bag always, and her skinny dip line.
It looks cool.
It does look good, and I want to get that Are You Embarrassed hoodie, and I might get a new phone case as well. There was a time when skinny dip was really at its peak, but it's probably because like we haven't been outside,
and also I don't know, it's very like I'm at uni, I got my skinny dip on, you know, like it's.
Did you get anything else from skinny dip apart from phone case?
Phone case, maybe laptop case, stationery. It's very like.
Oh, you were a skinny dip gal.
I'm a stationery. I love stationery. Stationery is my one weakness.
Okay.
So yeah, I need to go and have a browse, see what they're offering.
Yeah, the shoot looks good. I watched her vloggy thing, and that looked fun. And I also really like that she always brings her friends in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like. I don't know. I think it's important.
Yeah, it's good.
She seems always grounded. And it's never her new friends. It's always the ones that were there from early uni videos.
Yeah,
days.
like her actual friends.
Well, her new friends are probably actual friends as well. You're speaking as if you know her personally.
Yeah, like, no, I'm sure.
She's told you on the slide, like, yeah, these pictures aren't my friends.
No, but like, you know.
Her day oneers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The originals.
Yeah. Yeah, so who's your shout out?
My shout out is a woman named Halima Cisse.
I thought you said as a woman. I was like, is your opinion more because you're a woman? Go on.
This woman, she's 25 woman.
What did you say her name was? Halima Cisse?
Yeah.
Go on.
From Mali. She's given birth to 9 babies.
Oh, yes.
I saw this right before I went to sleep last night. I just thought about it for the next couple of hours. 9 babies. So she thought that she was going to have 7 babies.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's just living in Mali. She's got another daughter already. Her and her husband, they were in hospital. And then the government were like, okay, actually, we should fly you out to Morocco to get the care you need because you're having a whole litter of children.
Yeah.
So it was 7. Then actually it's 9. I think it's 5 boys and 4 girls. Doesn't make a difference. Just loads of kids. 9.
She should get a reality show. People are always doing reality shows.
I think. How are
you going to pay for all those kids?
No, well, she said the president, the husband said the president contacted them.
That doesn't mean anything.
No,
does that mean money?
A 25-year-old woman with 9 children.
Reality show.
I don't know if I want to see that.
You don't want to see that, but like 15 and counting and all those shows are like big hits, and those tend to be like white families. So like she should really get that bag right now, because how are you gonna pay? Like, how much does it cost to, like, you know, like nursery costs here? Anytime I think of nursery costs, they're like a bit mad.
No, but
how are you gonna pay for 9 kids to go to nursery?
Okay, I think, right, I'm making like sweeping statements here, but I do come from a big family, so I think it cheaper by the dozen really does exist. So if you, 9 kids all at one go, that's like really, really hard, because they're all the same size, and they probably look the same.
What pram are you gonna get?
No, you never go out with all the same kids. will never. There'll be some children. There'll be some of those children that will have never gone to the same place together.
What car are you gonna get?
2 cars, right? Or just do things in batches, right? Because like if think about it, like you go to Costco,
right?
You buy in bulk. It's like gonna be like 101 Dalmatians, you know?
It's gonna
just
be
like lining out the bowls.
You're never going to sleep. Like, how are you gonna make sure that all these kids are on the same sleep schedule? Also, R.I.P. her boobs, because I don't know how she's gonna breastfeed all 9 of them kids.
Well, I think they're very little right now.
It doesn't matter.
They're gonna be like in incubators for a little while.
Yeah, but they're still gonna need to eat. When you're in an incubator, you have to pump. She still has to pump.
I think that's the least of her worries, to be honest. This is a 25-year-old woman with 10 kids.
What was funny about this? Oh yeah, massive congratulations.
Congratulations.
Because can you imagine, like, when you thought you had 7 kids on the way, she was already bricking it. Like, and do you know what? Like, if you thought you had 7 kids, you know, like, I'm thinking of Cheap and Bad Dozen. So they might have bought a new house and thought, yes, we have the perfect amount of rooms, and then we've remodeled shit. Or they bought like one of those 8-seater cars and like, oh, they've got it all down. Then 2 more pop out. You're like, fucked it.
Imagine having to remember all of your children's names.
My mum can't even remember my name, and I'm the firstborn. She'll call me the dog's name before she even lands on who she's talking to.
That's honestly, yeah.
Oh, but what was funny about that story is I'm trying to find it. Well, not funny actually, but very typical of British news. I think Daily Mail, Sunday Mirror thingamajig, and one of those other shit ones. They all put the wrong picture, and they all put some random black woman from Tennessee.
Oh,
and I don't know.
Oh, come on, are we not past that?
But it was like, it was like, how have you? It must be like one of them put the story out first, and then everyone just assumed that they must know what they're talking about. We'll just take the exact same picture that they've used, and then that should be fine. I'm trying to find it, but
9 babies. At that point, you would hope they would just look after themselves.
Like, at which point?
You like relax amongst yourselves.
At which point? They'll never need to make 9. It's a bit risky because, you know, people pair off. One of them's going to be left out. You know, like the ginger one in Cheap and Bad Dozen. One of them's going to end up being
there's
him.
the older one. The older one must be like, what the hell? Like, I was just an only child chilling. Now I have 9 younger siblings.
How much? Do you know what the age difference is?
No, they haven't said that. But the dad is still at home with the older one, so she's enjoying that last
they're
bit
never
of
going to
quietness.
get any attention again.
No, I don't know.
That older one's going to have
middle 9.
But she's the oldest.
No, she's right in the middle.
No, there's a massive difference. Like, my dad is also one of 9, and then my mum is one of 5. My granddad is one of 22. But there's a massive difference of like being like, you know, that middle thing, and then everyone at once. That's like, it's like you 9. How are you gonna ever?
Well, no, because
how do you choose your favorite?
Because
sibling?
there will be one in the 9, right, who's a bit bougie and is like, I'm above all the rest of my same age siblings, and then they'll make friends with the older one. I think.
You think?
I would hope.
I think that older one is gonna.
That older one is gonna be out of the house.
It's gonna have immediate like middle child syndrome.
Who's ringing the phone?
Is there a phone in here?
Should we get into the news then?
Yeah.
Okay, so first up, the cop who shot and killed Rayshard Brooks back in 2020 has been reinstated as an Atlanta police officer. So Garrett Rolfe, last year in June, was called to a Wendy's parking lot where a 27-year-old man, Rayshard Brooks, was sleeping in his car. And they spoke, and then ultimately he was running away and he was shot in the back by Garrett Rolfe.
Yeah.
And then he also allegedly kicked his body.
Yeah, the video was horrible.
Yeah. Oh, did you watch the video?
It's a lot of allegedly is always thrown around. I don't like when it's all like allegedly when like I'm watching it in 4K. Like, why is there so many allegedlys when I'm watching it in 4K?
But yeah, it was really, really horrible. But basically what's happened was there was kind of administrative error where the police officer didn't get enough time to appeal. He wasn't given enough time. Therefore, he's been reinstated. So now he's on administrative leave. So he's got charges against him, but he's still being reinstated as a officer just because of some admin situation, basically.
It's so wild because it's just like, well, I think we said this before. How can somebody be so bad at their job? How can you be so bad at your job and then like still get away with, do you know what? Actually, no, because some people are really bad at their job and but they still have their jobs. But no, how can you, like, if you're at work, if I did something illegal now, even though I'm not a police officer, if I did something illegal now, would BuzzFeed still have me on just normal leave, or would they be like, okay, you're out?
I don't know.
But I'd expect you, like, if I killed somebody, it would seem to be normal that you would just get fired immediately. Not that, oh, we'll put you on leave that you'll probably still be paid for.
Yeah, and it's like also, so an error was happened because they've said,
what's the error?
So I'll read it. Basically, they said on the basis that the termination wasn't done in accordance with the Atlanta City Code. So basically, it's because of the conduct. The code was breached. Therefore, he's been reinstated. But you would think if you shoot somebody in the back and then kick their body, it doesn't matter if the code was breached. Like, you behave very inhumanely, therefore you should just be fired while you wait for your criminal charges.
But also, you as a person, do you not have any shame?
No,
because you're so shameless. Like, the police are so shameless that you'll kill somebody for no reason at all. You'll kill somebody and then you'll still walk back into your job. Do you know, like, when you accidentally do something, when you accidentally fuck up at work, you are sweating. Like, I am sweating. Like, and if I get an email in, I am sweating, especially like when somebody messages you out the bottom that I'm fired. I'm obviously fired. I've completely messed it up now. And like, I don't even want to show my face. Sometimes I've just been like, I feel really sick. I need to go home.
Yeah.
And then, but I can't imagine. I'm trying to think, like,
the thing is,
what I would do, that would be like, I'd just be like, you don't have to fire me, I'm quitting.
Yeah, when I used to work in the club, I made a lot of mistakes. And I made a really big mistake once. Very big mistake. And I was just like to my manager, I think I should leave.
I think.
And he I didn't, but he was like, okay, you're not, don't do that, what you did again.
Yeah.
But like, you just don't, like, are you not, do you have no shame that you behave disgusting? Well, obviously he doesn't think, he must think he behaved okay.
Well, I guess that's
where we're at right now.
That is literally the issue.
It's not even like pretending that the police is there to protect people.
No.
Who's it protecting? It's protecting some people.
I don't think it's protecting anybody anymore, to be honest. It's just
protecting
like they're just getting paid to thug around for absolutely no reason. Because, yeah. Also, when I worked in the club, for some reason, the bottle girls weren't working one night. I can't remember what happened. I think they were...
Table service.
Yeah, I think they were doing some small, weird bottle girl strike. I don't know what was happening.
Good
so
for
I
them.
had to be the bottle girl one time, and I dropped.
Oh, that's small. That's
I
calm.
dropped. You know that giant...
Oh, the grey goose.
The giant... You know, like, it's your body size. But, like, I wasn't a bottle girl, so I was like, I don't know how to hold this. They have, you know, they hold it in a particular way because they know that shit. So I was like, okay, well, this is like cramping my arm. And I dropped it and it smashed. And obviously that's a big headache in the club. And my manager was like, are you going to pay for it? And I was like, I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. And he was just like, okay, well, what should we do? And I was like, I guess I'm going home. And I never came back.
Oh.
I just...
Wow.
Shame.
It's the shame. It's the shame.
And that's,
I don't even think that's bad. I used to, and I'm not going to talk about my job. I wasn't good at my job.
I just hated it so much. I didn't. So also that as well. I was just like, I'm not going back. But yeah, the lack of shame,
the lack of compassion and humanity.
Yeah.
This Rayshard was a father of 4.
Yeah.
And it's like,
do these guys ever apologize to the families?
I don't think they think they've. I mean, sweeping statement again. I don't think they've done anything wrong. They probably think, oh yes, good job. We protected that Wendy's from that vicious man sleeping in his car aggressively. You know. It's the lack of compassion, the lack of seeing people as actual humans.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's like I'm not. My brain isn't working. It's weird to me that you were just not. I don't. But then again, you know, like some people just have no. You know, some people do something and you're like, are you, Nella Rose? Are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed? Because I don't. Maybe there's like that thing, you know, some people don't have that weird thing in their brain where it tells you like you're fucked it now.
Well, you mean a conscience?
Yeah, that. Thank you.
But there's a difference between
or embarrassment in general.
There's a difference between like guilt and like being embarrassed.
So, but this has guilt and embarrassment.
Yeah,
There's the guilt of you've literally killed somebody.
Some might say.
The guilt that you've literally killed somebody for absolutely no reason, and you've taken a father away from his kids, and then the embarrassment that you're so fucking bad at your job that you can't defend yourself against a man that's sleeping in his car and doing absolutely nothing, and then you're not embarrassed that you're still being paid by that job. Like, I'd be so embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's so wild to me.
It is wild.
That is wild to me.
The world is wild though.
And then like when people riot, it's just like,
oh, they destroyed property. You can make more property.
Also,
you can't bring back all the lives that have been killed, man.
On the rioting, have you seen the protests and stuff that's been happening in Manchester? Why am I seeing football fans breaking into football stadiums and there's no riots?
Oh,
like, there's obviously with this whole fucking Super League proper budget whatever, Manchester United fans have been protesting outside of Manchester United Stadium. There were police there just standing there doing fucking nothing. They broke into the stadium and were breaking things in the stadium, and the police were just standing there. When black people protest peacefully, people are in riot gear. But when football hooligans, and I'm just going to call them hooligans, break into a stadium and are damaging actual property, I don't see where's the riot gear? Where's the arrest? I haven't heard about any arrests. Actually, I watched police stand and watch it. You saw people breaking into a stadium. Like, where's the? I would like kind of accept if like the police were dicks to everyone, but it's just getting it's so exhausting now. Like, you just pick and choose, like, because obviously I've never seen a black football hooligan in my life, so all these were white, and like you're just really picking, like they're actually damaging like actual like expensive property, like you're ruining the seats, you're fucking messing up the fucking grass and all that shit, but like you're actively just standing there and watching with your shit bobby hats. Like, where's the riot gear? Where's the riot police? Where's the blackout? You know, they like to come out with all this. Where's the black? Where are the shields? Where's all that? Like, well, no, where's the energy? Meanwhile, we were peacefully protesting. They sent a horse into the crowd.
I forgot about the horse. That horse was one of us.
That was such a weird time.
It's just, I feel like I'm living in a parody. No, not even. You know when you watch a parody or something, and it's like, oh, and then it's so predictable. You're like, oh, that's gonna happen next. Oh, that's gonna happen next. It's like, it's so obvious. Like, could you be less subtle with the discrimination? It's so. I'm tired.
But also, it's so obvious. That's when sometimes you're like,
it's too obvious.
Am I supposed to be surprised that this happened?
Oh, I'm never surprised.
But it's just like, I'm just a bit tired now. I'm trying to switch off I'm just trying to switch off to it all.
Yeah.
But then I'm like,
you got to be aware, but
yeah,
also
like, but ignorance. Those people that like know nothing, they're living such
ignorance
happy lives.
Is bliss, man.
Ignorance really is bliss. They live such a cushy life.
I miss the days when I didn't know what was going on.
I barely even knew what our parties were called. That was great. Like, good times. Now I know too much. My third eye, my fucking fourth eye. I have 4 eyes.
Yeah,
it's double thing. I'm Medusa. And now it's too much. Next story is a boy. Well, a boy. I want to call him a boy, a man,
a young man.
A young man in Bristol recently went missing over the last couple of weeks called Olisa Odukwe, and his body has now been found. Cause of death is currently not known, but it's just kind of bringing in the topic, like there's a lot of, and I think it's all over actually. There's a lot of black kids, there's a lot of black young adults of late that are going missing, that have been ruled mysterious circumstances, which I think is always a bit of a cop out.
I just think
it can't always be mysterious. Like, give people an answer. Also, give people closure.
But we're not living in a TV drama. Like, there's always an answer to something. It's not like, oh, aliens, what happened? Somebody dies. Look into it, research it, do your detecting, and find out what happened. Like, you can't just be like, oh, mysterious circumstance, such a mystery.
But maybe TV has ruined it, because like from the small I watched from How to Get Away with Murder, the coroner's report isn't that supposed to tell you quite quickly what the cause of death was? So then if you've not seen that it was natural, and then you've not seen that it's self-inflicted, mysterious circumstances.
Well, I think they mean the areas surrounding it. I don't know anything about that stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just it's always so mysterious.
It's not impossible in this day and age, with everything that we have, to find out
the cause
of somebody's death.
No, I thought technology was far ahead.
Yeah.
I thought we're in 2021. This is what I expect. This is what they gave Jack the Ripper back in the days, mysterious circumstances. That's what I expect from them right now. But it's always like, it seems like with a lot of, well, I guess, I don't know.
It's really sad. It's really sad. I think, I don't really have anything constructive to say. I'm really sad for for Alisa's family.
You have to give these people closure. If you just keep giving them mysterious circumstances, and that doesn't tell anybody anything.
But I do think with this, I think the finding of his body was announced so quickly because of previous
pressure.
Yeah,
but it shouldn't.
It shouldn't be social pressure. But I'm hoping that what's happened is they've announced it, and then they will do a full investigation. I'm hoping that will happen.
I guess we can hope, but also we still had the same with Richard.
I know,
and that was before. I think it shouldn't take. It shouldn't take social pressure. It shouldn't take Twitter for you guys to do your job. It shouldn't be me on Twitter tweeting about it for somebody to do their job. You guys should actually do your job, because in the same breath, I'm still seeing the BBC talk about Madeleine McCann. I'm like, obviously, like, that was how long ago was that?
And so many children are missing.
And obviously the Madeleine McCann thing is like, when it happened, it was like, okay, this is really bad. Like, I feel really sorry for the family, obviously, but we've put so much money and so much focus on one child that's been missing. There are so many people that go missing all the time. Now, today, why are we not putting, when Blessing went missing, when Richard went missing, and now with Olisa, why is it not even like 1% of that energy that is going into the Madeleine McCann case is going into this? That's why I'm starting to believe conspiracy theories, because I'm like, there must be something else.
This is how it starts.
There must be something else, because
this is how it starts. This is how people get radicalized. Not saying that that's going to happen to you, but like there's like drips and drops of truth, and then we're not getting told like the full picture. And then you start doing your own research, because and then 2 and 2 starts
for the
starts
government
coming together.
To do something for so long. From what we know about our government, parties have changed. Between the change of parties, between the change of leadership, the heads, this one case is still at the forefront. I saw BBC tweet about this yesterday. I saw them tweet about Madeleine McCann yesterday. I was like, you are taking the piss. Are you guys still? This is still a story right at the forefront.
Okay, I don't want to say anything like out of turn, but do you think it may be because, like, if she was found, that would be like the biggest story of life?
Biggest story of life?
Yeah, like
the way that the news,
like the Titanic, like the Titanic kind of.
So why don't they want that?
I don't know. That's
or are they holding it?
Yeah, but I don't know. Also, I don't know. I once went on a really this was during the pandemic, really miserable rabbit hole. There's so many people missing in the UK. So many people. And it's like, they were last seen on CCTV and never seen again. And it's just like, imagine that is someone you care about.
I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I never believed that.
No.
This is where I'm. This
well,
is
like trafficking is a big thing. There's lots of different. There's so many different explanations, and you can't settle on an answer until they're like delved into.
No, but like this is now the 3rd episode in a row we've said this, with the amount of surveillance that is in this country, in London alone, for someone to be at a train station, it's always like they were at a train. You saw them on a train station camera, then they just moved from that. But I don't understand what happened after that. Did they just vanish into thin air? Is there no other cameras around? I don't understand. I never understand it.
It is very.
That's when people start believing in mad conspiracy theories, and I'm like halfway there because I'm bored.
I don't even think it's conspiracy theories. I think it's just
when I say it's a cover up,
negligence, and not being bothered.
Because also trains have cameras. How someone just disappeared at a train station?
But also,
they always say when you're at a train station, CCTV is watching you all the time. I was like, obviously it's not, but because people are going missing.
But Ada, also think about this. Back in this is like, I'm gonna sound like a grandma, but like 10 years ago when we all were on the bus and train, no, like our phones like weren't in our hands. Like when I'm on like the train, I'm like, oh, let me just check like what's going on Twitter, Instagram. So we're not like sitting and being aware. Do you know what I mean? So it's harder for people to be like, oh yeah, I saw that person. They were sitting opposite me on the train, because you might not notice because you're looking at your phone.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not looking at the people to tell people where things are. I'm looking for the 20 million cameras I see all the time to actually be of some use.
What I don't get is, do you ever watch Crime Watch?
Yeah.
And people talk about this all the time, but why is it such poor quality on the CCTV? When I go to Tesco, I'm in like HD,
it's
4K,
true.
like all my bags are showing.
Yeah.
Why is why do we have crap CCTV? Like what is the CCTV for? You know, when you see pictures of like people, it's like these people left through the airport, and it's like you can't even tell, and you can only know who that person is if you know who they are.
I have no idea. Every corner shop has CCTV pointing outside. There's like a corner shop. Every corner shops are no longer on the corner. It's every 2 steps is a corner shop. Cash points have.
But cameras. Are they the good cameras?
But it doesn't even matter, because like even if somebody goes missing, you can with the scrambling that they show on Crime Watch, you can scramble something together.
That's true.
It's just like, I just can't accept that people are just vanishing in thin air, and you
not.
guys aren't doing it. Well, no, they're not. So like, where's the answers? Or is it that you guys just don't care? Like I don't. Or is there? I'm obviously like going like, is there a cover up? I'm not saying there is, but like I've been very deep into some threads recently at 3 a.m.
The Churchill statues won't protect themselves, will they? So
that's where you guys, you did a whole police training, you did a whole police academy. I don't know how long it is to guard a statue. How embarrassing for you. That's so sad. That's so sad. Imagine doing your whole degree and then you just have to stand in front of a statue. I don't want to say I feel sorry for you, but that's like pathetic. And your legs must be tired. Do you reckon they do shifts?
Yeah.
Because the legs must be tired. Do you know the people that stand in front of the Queen's thingamajig? Those red men?
Beefeaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they want to do that?
Oh, they love it.
Or do you think they're just stationed there?
No, they love it. That must be like, I mean, I don't know any of them. I've never spoken to them. But I imagine that's like, there's probably a Beefeater like shift. And if you get the Queen one, like the one that's up front, changing of the guard, that's like the top spot. That's like employee of the month.
But you're not bored.
Nah, you're like, I am here with my big old hat. Everyone's looking at me. They want me to smile and I'll never smile.
I reckon they hate it.
No, they love it because have you ever gone there as a kid and then like they never smile and then you're like, I'm going to make them smile.
I had one tell me to shut up once. Oh. Yeah.
See, so maybe he didn't love it.
He was Nigerian. Oh. Because he told me to, he basically, he didn't say, he said, will you keep quiet? And I was like, oh, you talk.
They're not, I don't think they're meant to talk.
They're not supposed to.
I made one smile once and I was like so pleased with myself. So he was probably thinking, yeah, we did a little thing today. Your guy's like, yeah.
He was sick of it. But that was like me and my cousins were like tormenting him because I was like, I'm gonna get this guy to move today. And it was like the only black one I'd ever seen.
I've never seen a black one.
Exactly. He's probably not there again.
What do you think is under their hat? Do you think it's a smaller hat? Like, how does it sit?
It must it must be like a cap thing, because it doesn't. The straps are like. Have you put one on?
Why would I have ever worn a Beefeaters hat?
You know, in school when they always do those.
I've never gone up close.
They're not
personal.
like. No, in school, you know, when people come to your school.
You had Beefeaters come to your school?
No, you know, like I don't even know. You know, like in school, you would always have those random days when
they bring the artifacts.
They would bring like random shit for you to dress up in.
I completely forgot
it was
about
like,
artifacts.
Like I'm talking about primary school. And they would
Yeah.
always bring like, oh, today we've got like an actual Roman helmet.
Yeah, the Roman
everyone
helmet
going.
was
That's
big.
how people get knits, you know, because everyone's just sharing the same hat. But I remember putting on a beef. However, I was young, so it was quite heavy at the time. But one of those hats, and it was like imagine like a horse riding helmet inside, and then the bear skin thing.
Wow.
I don't know if it's still bear skin.
I think I would tip over.
It was quite
Did you
heavy,
tip
like it's
over?
quite like. But also, I was just thinking, they're like, I reckon they have AirPods in there.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, couple podcasts. Maybe they're listening to us right now.
Right, beefies.
Yeah, beefies. Oh god, but they must have like amazing calf muscles because you're just standing there.
Standing isn't that hard. They were way harder jobs.
No, you standing still.
They don't stand. They change the guard. They do the marching.
Yeah, after 6 hours, you got. What if you need to pee?
I would not be able to.
I probably have one of those pee bags.
No, they don't.
They defo have one of those pee bags.
They do bladder
they
training.
They have a pee bag.
No, I reckon it's like
I think
big No, it's big training, and it's like bladder training, and it's all about discipline. Because to not smile, because if it was me, if I was a beefeater, I'd think of like a joke. Cracking up.
I always do that.
And then if I needed to pee, it would be all over because I'd be laughing. Like
But you'd be in the pee bag.
No.
Also, are there any women beefeaters?
Lady Beefeaters.
Lady beef? Are they any lady ones?
I don't know.
I wouldn't even be able to tell because you don't really see their face too much. I want to see. And
Why are they called Beefeaters?
you know what? There's many things in this life. There was first female yeoman warder.
Oh,
What's a yeoman
It
warder?
seems like there's another type that they wear like a kind of dress, kind of looks like inspired by a post box.
Oh my god, no! Yeah, I've seen this. This isn't what I want.
That's not what I'm looking
She's not-
for. That's not
Are there any female?
good for her, but
That's great,
that's
but
not
I don't.
what-
That's not what I wanted. I don't want that. So I'm gonna assume there isn't any.
No.
Do you think they ever wear it like at home, just for fun?
I reckon some of them.
Right, have a little.
Yeah, 100%. OnlyFans. I think that's big.
No,
OnlyFans
that
money.
would be
that's big money.
treason. That would be treason. The Queen wouldn't have that.
Why would that be treason?
To be used in your beefeater uniform out of work.
Why would that be treason? I reckon if I was I think if I was a beefeater, I think there are so many people that have weird fetishes around British culture. You could make big money being a beefeater,
A sexy
gigolo. Beefeater gigolo.
They hide their eyes.
Maybe they're sleeping.
I think, do you know what? That's what I would do. I would, because you can't listen to a podcast because you start laughing.
No, it depends which one you're listening to. Some of them aren't funny.
Yeah, but I
Some
still,
of them are dead.
you have that thing where you're just like listening to something and then your face goes like, say someone's like angry and then you're just like, and then you forget that you're walking down the street.
Or like-
so you'd have to listen to like, I don't know, like the wind or like, you know, like ocean sounds.
Yeah, true.
Go into a happy place.
True. I have a thing when you know when you just feel like you listen to a podcast, but I've just been thinking about my own shit for like 20 minutes, and then I'm like, and then it's like, it's like then you come back to reality and I'm like, oh, this podcast has been playing in my ears.
Oh no, that happens when I'm reading.
When I'm
I
reading,
can't read anymore.
I'll be reading, and then I'll see a word, and I'm like, "Ooh, that reminds me of this." And then I'm like thinking
You've been
for
on
like
the same
20
page
minutes.
for 20 minutes, and then you're like, oh, shit.
Did you have to do reading at uni where it'd be like so hard,
and then you just like Google every word, and then you're like, what do words mean? It was like, I've read this, but I don't know what I've read.
My mum, as a child, no, as in like when I was a child, my mum would give me like hella hard books, and oh my god, it was
Like
actually,
what?
you know, like, well, as a 10-year-old, a hard book was probably like fucking Jane Eyre.
Classic.
So she would give me like, I remember I had Oliver Twist was one.
Oh, Oliver Twist is good.
She was giving me like she was, so as a, like between like the ages of like 8 and 10, after I'd read all those fucking Morona books and Beezus or whatever those good ones were, she would make me read for half an hour every day, knowing I didn't know any of the words. She would give me a pen to highlight every word I didn't know, which was basically majority of I was like, don't know this one, don't know this one. And then at the end of that, I had to then get the dictionary, write all the words I didn't know, and then learn them. And then I would be tested on all the words I didn't know at the end of the week.
Well, that's really good.
That was like slavery to me. I really hated it.
No, I like that.
I honestly hated it so much.
I did not do that. I was just like reading.
And
I loved
still can't
reading,
spell.
but then I would just use the words freely, pronounce them wrong.
Yeah.
Just confidently be like, this is a big word. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm gonna use it.
I feel like I can't spell. So I know words, but I can't spell.
That's okay though. In this
so
day
then I
and
just
age,
like forget it. Unless I'm dictaphoning. So then I'm like, I can actually speak.
Words are not real. I mean, they are, but like somebody made up the spelling, so I can make it up myself.
It's very true. Very true. But yeah, I don't know how we got here. How did we get here?
Beefeaters.
Who knows? And we're literally out of time. And should we do the last story?
Well, yeah, go on. Go on.
So in like, I guess positive-ish news, Will Smith put
I think my skirt has been up high this whole time.
Oh my god, what do you think?
No.
Has your ass been on camera?
Oh no, but you know what? Oh, I know, I'm clever.
What?
I'm wearing a bodysuit and I put the bodysuit up over my tights. No. So guys, if you can see my knickers, right? You know.
No, Hanifa, it's fine. We'll just crop in.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna put your ass on. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll just punch in. It might be super close.
It might be. Look.
Or maybe I'll put the season logo
On my crotch.
over your crotch.
Lovely. Gosh. Anyway.
Okay. Will Smith posted a picture on his Instagram. You sort yourself out. Yeah. Posted a picture on his Instagram, just showing that he said himself he's in the worst body state he's ever been in his life.
Is that his words?
Let me quote him correctly. Because that was the gist of it, but he
said worst shape, which is different to state.
I said, yeah, what do you mean?
Shape is different to state.
Is it? He said, I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Do your voice, go on. Do your Will Smith voice.
I'm trying to think of Will Smith's voice.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. No,
that's
not
Will Smith.
That was, I don't know who I thought was.
I can't. His voice is like, it's quite deep
just
actually.
Think of like when he's like, well, how come you don't want me, man?
No.
You know what I'm doing?
He's like crying.
Yeah.
So that's
how
like,
come you don't want me?
No, I'm trying to think of like Hitch, but I think his voice is actually quite low.
Is it? I think he goes high.
I think he can switch it, but I think if you're a comedian, you need like a lot of chopping and changing. But anyway, he goes, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm in the worst shape of my life. And then he also did another post saying, this is the body that carried me through the entire pandemic and countless days grazing through the pantry. I love this body, but I want to feel better. No more midnight muffins. This is it. And I guess he's probably going to launch a fitness show because that seems like where it's coming from. But because of this, loads of other celebs or prominent people in the thing, men have been posting their pandemic bodies to show that, you know what, we've all put on some weight, and he's hashtagged it the Big Willy Challenge, which can be taken in a very different way. He should have chosen a different hashtag.
Do Americans say Willy?
For penis?
Yeah.
No, because I would always remember on Fresh Prince, people would call him Willy. And I think that was so weird. So, like, maybe he doesn't realize. Big Willy challenge.
He knows what he's doing.
Do you think?
Mm.
Do you think?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, oh, sorry, that was really bad. Yeah, other people have posted, like, the Marlon Wayans and that guy from Blackish, and, you know, loads of other people have just posted their pandemic bodies. And it's cool, like, accept your body. We've all put on weight. Don't stress about it. Like, you know, if you stress about it, you're going to get nowhere. You're going to be unhealthy if you stress too much.
Yeah, I'm all for the whole body body normativity. Like,
yeah, that as well.
You know, we all just exist.
Yeah. I think it's like in the pandemic, there was like loads of people started with hella fitness. All of these people got six packs, and like, I'm not too sure I don't know how they did it, because working out in my own house felt like I was in jail, and it was horrible. But I think, I don't know, anything that shows people that we're not all gonna come out looking like IG people, I think is great.
Yeah, and I like how he's like, this is the body that carried him through the pandemic.
Yeah, I think you should just focus on getting through it healthy, to be honned.
However you can get through it.
Well, I mean healthy,
like,
in a
sense.
Be
nice to yourself.
I mean healthy in a sense that the pandemic is because hella people got COVID, and well, COVID is kicking. I think if you've just got out of it, whether you've had COVID or not, because I had COVID, and you've come out of it and you're not like still, you know, either suffering, or even if you are suffering, but like so many things have happened. There was a reason to the pandemic. If you've honestly come out the other side of it, that's probably the most important thing right now. If you've come out of it skinnier, bigger, less muscle mass, more muscle mass, changed hair, bald, many people have cut their hair. I think the main thing is that you're alive.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. That was deep, man.
Thanks, man. Like, I'm like back in therapy. I'm like really talking about shit. Yeah. However, I'm going to change my therapist again, because this new one isn't it. But you know, like, I'm in that train. So yeah. Also, I can't remember where that black therapist thing was. So if anybody wants to message me, I can't find it. And also I asked somebody else and I can't find it. It's like a black therapist directive, because, like, no offense to my therapist, but like, they've all kind of been white and they're all kind of annoying me because they're not really understanding my drama. I was trying to talk about my wash day.
They need to understand the cultural significance.
I can't. And it's like, obviously no shade to white therapists, like, you're all doing amazing work, but I can't explain. I'm just trying to explain my mental state. Explaining culture on top of that is just too much.
Yeah, I think with a therapist, it's really important to find somebody that you don't have to explain like the nuances of your life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Regardless of like who you are, like what it is, if they're not understanding where you're coming from,
or one that doesn't like threaten to, like, you know, potentially call somebody if I talk about the beats I received as a child. I had that when I had therapy as a child, because I've been in therapy for years. I remember going to, like, I don't know, what was her, I can't remember what her name was, but my therapist was like, she was talking about my household situation, and I was like, yeah. And then when I was younger, sometimes I used to get beats because I wasn't, and then she was like, do you want me to call social services, because I was 16, and I was like, oh no,
16.
But I was talking about, like, when I say beats, it was like very minor. I'm from a Nigerian household, but I said it very casually, and I'm the oldest. So then she was like thinking about my younger sibling. She's like, do you want me to call somebody? I was like, oh no, that is very normal. I'm not saying I was abused. I'm just saying somebody threw shit at me.
I think, yeah.
Even though also I say normal, it actually isn't normal, but it's very cultural for that to happen. I wasn't saying I was abused as a child.
Yeah, there's cultural differences.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like if I had a Nigerian adjacent, they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember as a kid, actually, like, I never got beats, but it was always like, I could it could happen. And I knew I was like, but it never happened. But I remember I mentioned to somebody, it was like, I'm going to be in trouble when I get home. And then this girl was like, what happens when you get home? And it was just like, oh, I just have to like sit in the corner, like time out.
No, I remember a teacher telling me that was abuse. Because my parents used to do the traditional kneel down in the corner, kneel down, hands up.
So yeah,
and like one of my teachers made it seem like I was being abused, and I was like,
I don't know.
I guess it was painful for my aunt.
I don't know.
But that's why you just can't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't be telling everybody something before the police knocks on your door.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't be like. Also, just like stay in your lane.
Yeah,
and also there are children who are being abused. So maybe
hear the differences.
Yeah.
Because if I've said it casually, then just know that it was that casual.
Oh, well, I remember when my mom learned about grounding and like taking away stuff, I used to be like, please just hit me. Like just do one and done.
Oh, you're lucky because
my mom
I'd get it both.
No.
Don't worry about it. I'm getting the beats and then I'm also grounded. And I might get the kneel down and grounded. Oh my God.
Do you remember the one, I don't know if you ever had this, when it would be like, do one more thing and it's getting worse. And then you do one more thing and you'd be like grounded for 2 weeks. And then you'd be like, do one more thing. And then I would just do something and I'd be grounded for 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
And then it'd be like, go on. I see you're angry. Roll your eyes. And I would do it. And then I'd be grounded for like 7 weeks.
My mum would have, it was like, sometimes you had a toss up because it was like you could be grounded or you would have to do something that was horrible.
Oh.
And she would always have things that were horrible that nobody wanted to do, like cleaning the oven. Are you going to tell a 12-year-old to clean the oven? I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that's too much.
Yeah,
and that would take all day because you're definitely going to fuck it up. You have no idea what you're doing.
You don't know how to clean an oven.
You have no idea what you're doing. And then, so you haven't done it correctly. If anything, all you've done is spread grease around. And then by the time they come back, they're like, this isn't done. You need to do it again. Oh, God, yeah.
I really don't miss being a child.
You just couldn't win. Sometimes you're just like, but I don't know. I guess. I'm not going to really comment on parenting. So, like, there's many. I feel like sometimes you just don't even know what you're doing.
I think my mum had fun with it, definitely. She amused herself with our punishments.
I reckon my mum did because I commented recently that I think she enjoys shouting.
Oh.
And I've only just realized that no, she likes to shout because there would be the smallest, especially now because there's only 2 people back in the house, so that I'd be there, I'll be sat there and she'll just be shouting about something. And I'm like, oh no, you enjoy doing this because there's nothing to shout about.
No, but do you know what? I can imagine it must be so annoying, right? You have a child and then they just never pick up their stupid clothes off the stupid floor. I would also shout. Because it's like, I paid for these clothes, right? Now you're putting them on the floor, everyone's trampling over them.
It's true.
And then you're going to cry when your coat has a mark on it. Nah.
I guess.
So I understand, but also if I have kids, I want to really make it my own, relish in it.
I don't know what side I'm going to take. I think I'm just going to come to what's natural. And unfortunately for me, I know what is natural will be my Nigerian self will come straight.
What do you think?
I can feel it, especially sometimes when I hang out with like my small cousins. I'm just like, oh my, I just get irritated looking at them. I'm just like, you know when a kid is just around you, but like, you know when a kid is around you, but you didn't choose to be around that kid, so then they're just like annoying.
Oh no, I really like kids.
No, it depends what.
They need to have the respect.
That, and also like just constantly tapping me, or like I'm actually busy, or like I don't know. I only like I like particular children, and I also don't like gross kids. So like that also really annoys me, which I don't know. Maybe I do enjoy kids.
The ones that have like bogey hanging out.
Yeah, I ain't gonna touch that. Go to your mom. I'm not gonna touch. Or just like, why is there food in your face? Where did the food come from? There's always something on them.
I don't know.
Sort it out.
I think it's gonna be really interesting when I have kids, because it's just gonna be like, I'm a kid. We're having cookies and milk for dinner. Like, you know when you're a kid and your mum's like, you're like, oh, can I have like cake for dinner? And your mum's like, no.
I would be like, yeah.
Yeah, let's all have cake.
That's the easiest option for me right now. I guess it depends.
I would struggle to
teach my kid the right, like when things are the right thing, but it's not. Like, if they're like, I don't want to do my homework because I don't like it, I'm like, yeah, cool, you don't have to actually.
Oh,
like, you pass your exams, but just
if they pass that, you're assuming that your kids will be smart.
If they are my child,
they might not be smart.
No, but they don't need to. If they're not academic smart, they'll be good at one thing, and that's the thing that they will go for. I never did my homework. Look at me, I have a job.
Right. Okay, let's finish. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, message us at seasonedsessions@buzzfeed.com, or DM us at seasonbf, or what's the other one?
Our personal Instagrams. Yes. Slide into our DMs to tell us what you want to hear from us. How would you parent?
Okay, how would you parent, or whatever, just message us what you want. Our personals are at Ada and H, and yours is...
It's _Hanifa with 2 H's at the end.
Yeah, and
we'll be back next week.
Hopefully. Bye.